introduce our next speaker. Audience, fellow scholars, kindly allow me to introduce to you Miss Maha JOUINI. Please pardon me for my pronunciation if I'm wrong. Miss Maha JOUINI is the founder of African Center for AI and Digital Technology, is a Pan-African think tank interested in supporting AI policies on the African continent and conducting research on digital transformation impact and challenges in Africa. She is an author, speaker, founder, and executive director of the African Center for Artificial Intelligence and Digital Technology. She holds a master's degree from Tianjin China University of Education and Technology in the field of AI and new technology. Published several research and analytical articles in the field of AI policies and the future of work in Africa. In her many publications and her conferences, she also highlights the technology impact on the African economy and how technology can be a leverage for women inclusion. She worked as a media assistant for the African Union campaign to end child marriage in Africa from 2015 to 2017. In 2018, Margaret Voices named her as a personality of the year after the success of her book, Lovers for Africa. Currently, she is a leading communication team of the of the AU campaign to promote the protocol on free movement of persons in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Miss Maha JOUINI. Speaker, welcome and take over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for your kind presentation. I graduated from Tianjin Jifandashue in 2020 at COVID time, and it was really hard for me to in getting back home, to find a job, and so on. So my idea when I create the African Center for Artificial Intelligence and Digital Technology was, instead of looking for opportunities, let me do it and create it by myself. I stopped applying, going here and there. I create a Pan-African think tank to discuss and see how are we going to implement artificial intelligence in the continent. However, when I moved to Mauritania, because I'm from Tunisia, so I moved to Mauritania to launch the project, I realized that we in Africa, we are far away from AI yet. Unfortunately, the private sectors itself still did not understand yet what we do mean by AI. Also, we are facing another issue, which is the inequality in using AI. You know what I mean? Well, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I want to working in the field of application, providing tech services, and so on. After I launched my project, I realized that the tech, which I want to provide it as a services, there are big companies, white companies, they are the one who are providing this sort of services. And I give you the sample in Mauritania, Senegal, in the Francophone Africa. Basically, all of the offers goes to French company. It didn't go for us because we don't own technology. In the end of the day, we left by nothing. Well, the reason why I chose today to talk about AI ethics and how AI ethics it will be our path to realize the Africa we want. For one reason, because we in Africa, despite of our capacities, high-level education, we are still facing the colonization of our economy. We are not the leaders of our resources. We cannot gain because basically in the tech field, we are still facing this inequality. Moreover, we don't connect with each other. For example, me, Maha, I'm based in Mauritania. How many how many people they know about me, about my services. If I need any help, I have to go to other companies. I have to buy softwares from France or from Belgium for the only reason because our country, there were an old French colony. Well, let's start my presentation. Technological advances are a driving force for development. We are living at the time where the world is shaped by technology, and the latter is profoundly altering the world we live in. It's in a particular way in the recent developments in artificial intelligence that have enabled it for dramatic transformation in the economic, political, and social spheres. Therefore, the benefits of AI include facilitation of major advances in healthcare, especially during the COVID-19 management, where AI proved to be the central of fighting the pandemic, assisting people with blindness and low vision, and they navigate daily life and the prediction of preparing the natural disasters. To name a few. Next slide. Great. Recent development in AI portends major transformation in the economic, as I said. And in the meantime, it raises many ethical issues. Why? Because we cannot control algorithms. We are not the one who can control the data and the use of data. Give you a very useful example, and I'm always giving it. For example, if you go on the internet and type the word of, the verb of terror. Terror means that's the literal meaning of the verb terror. Means like someone come and try to force people to follow his idea. Just you type that verb, and we Muslim people, we appeared in Google, as usual. In many things, all of the negative verb, all of the negative words, all the time in data related to Africa descent, and Muslims. We realized by the time that the data is already stereotyped, first. Second thing, the company, this is on the social level and the economic level also. The big companies, the company who can save the data, who own the data, who can buy and sell and use our data through cookies system, through using our personal data, through our social media and so on, they are the one who can control the markets. Well, now, when we talk about the AI ethics, which is a concept and values agreed by UNESCO, we do have also the Montreal Proclamation of AI ethics, and also D4D project, the project of decolonizing AI launched by Africa Researchers ICT. Please, can you come back to the left? Yes, go ahead. AI ethics is a system of moral principles and techniques intended to inform the development and responsible of use the artificial intelligence technology. As AI became integral and to product and services, organizations are starting to develop AI code of ethics. An AI code of ethics, also called AI value platform, is a policy statement that formally defines the role of artificial intelligence as it applies to the continued development of the human race. The purpose of AI and AI code of ethics is to provide stakeholders with guidance when faced with an ethical decision regarding the use of artificial intelligence. You can check to the UNESCO ethics recommendation. Next slide. The AI issue in workspace. There are a huge question today. Can a recruitment or risk prediction algorithm be used if it has a sexist, racist, or other form of discrimination bias? What are our obligations to use this algorithm in a transparent and fair manner? Other question, how can a medical robot respect the autonomy and dignity of a patient? What are the right public policies to prepare for the deployment of self-driving cars, machine learning, algorithm, or other AI technology? Faced with these various types of issue, AI ethics is concerned with what is good, just, virtuous in the implementation of AI system. It is a recent and transversal discipline that combines elements of philosophy of technology first, ethics of robots, ethics of massive data and information, but also public ethics, business ethics, ethics of war, bioethics, social and political philosophy, etc., etc. Next slide. Okay. AI for development in line with Agenda 2063. In the Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, it says in dans la matière 57, in line 57, youth unemployment will be eliminated and Africa's youth guaranteed full access to education, training, skills and technology, health services, jobs, and economic opportunity. Recreational and cultural activities, as well as financial means in all necessary resources to allow them to realize their full potential. Next slide. These are the 7th aspiration of Agenda 2063. First, a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development. An integrated continent, politically united and based in the ideals of Pan-Africanism and the vision of African Renaissance. An Africa of good governance, democracy, respect for human rights, justice, and the rule of law. A peaceful, secure Africa, Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, values, and ethics. An Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential offered by the African people, especially its women and youth, and caring for children. An Africa as a strong, united, resilient, and influential global player and partner. Next slide. Can AI play a role for the Africa we want? The Africa aligns with the Agenda 2063 aspiration. And for me, I think we have to implement policies to advance the development and use of AI. Use of AI that promotes and respects human rights, strengthens democracy and inclusivity, and responds to local social economic needs. There are 3 major points. We have to put it in our heads. First of all, accessibility, accessibility and openness. When I say accessibility, in my work, I realized that most of youth, especially youth, students, researchers, that they don't have yet access to technology. In Tunisia, you have to pay like around 2,000 dinars, 2,500 dinars, which is a huge amount for a local Tunisian, to pay course in coding. So coding, Python, learning machine learning, learning data analysis, all these, it's highly expensive and it's not affordable to all of us. We are moving to the 4th industrial revolution, and still yet our people, we are not able to pay this course. So we have issue of accessibility, and we need to find the solution for this. Second, inclusion and participation. I'm a woman. Believe me, like in my job now, I'm the only director as a lady. All of my colleagues are men. I mean, like for women inclusion, especially in the tech, this field is still ruled by men. And because I write and I'm a speaker, that's why I can gain some jobs. I can do consultations because I always raising my voice. Otherwise, I won't get it. Because still we have the stereotypes in workspace. For a lot of investors in business markets, we always think that technology is not for women. Like when they see me, they think that I am doing, I'm an admin assistant, or I'm an HR, or I come here for the marketing. However, not. I'm an AI policy. You know, so I'm trying to break this barrier. And it's hard for women. And there are studies driven by Tanzanian experts that said that the lady who studied in Africa, right? In Africa, women who studied computer science, before they reach 35 years old, they switch career, they change their career in general. Because by the time they realize that they cannot get promotion because they are women, especially if you are a tech entrepreneur, investors, they don't come for you because they think that the people who can handle AI, they're really good in coding, they can trust them. They are men, not women. Well, other third point, we need to have fairly reflect local context and reality. Next slide. Okay. I have the rights category and areas of assessment. First of all, we need AI. It shouldn't threaten the future of work in Africa because there are many thousands of employees who lost their jobs, especially in the field of communication and journalism. Remember very well, when the digital communication came up, many of the journals closed because people, they don't read paper, so they moved to online. Nowadays, we do have, which we call it, the artificial intelligence community management. So today we don't need community manager in work. We will buy software, intelligent software, will do for us the community management. Today, a journal, I think, one of the famous journal in US, they have a software who publish for them opinion article. So there are many journalists who are stayed at home. Other thing, in the research field, there are softwares you can do the data analysis. So in the work phase today, we might not need a researcher assistant, as well as in other fields. So we are facing the jobless risk. Okay, so today we need to provide to our people skills development. They have to be skilled enough to can get a position. Otherwise, they won't get it because the labor workspace is changing. And we in the continent, we are like still facing literacy and inaccessibility for work and to get a job. Other thing, so we have to get fair labor standards. Also, in the right of sustainability and rights of future generations, we need to protect rights of children and environmental sustainability. Also, I would like to highlight the community and cultural rights. First of all, we have to provide policies in protection of linguistic and cultural heritage. Second, community control over data, local AI use. Third, community beneficence. And when I highlight the protection of linguistic and cultural heritage, for a lot of time we can see interface of some app or images or logos or icons online, which misrespect our identity, heritage, and our culture. No, we Africans, we have beautiful culture, we are brave people, and our visual and identity should be respected. We won't accept to be humiliated and somehow. Okay, second slide, I think. Yes, yeah, I'm done. Thank you. This is the major highlights of my presentation, and I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Miss JOUINI, we are so grateful for this wonderful presentation. Very insightful. Yes, very insightful, very educative. So, which means that, yes, we really enjoyed the presentation. What I have picked so interesting is the aspect of where you talk about we as Africans, as upcoming academic doctors, we need to build ourselves in terms of skills that can enable us to get ourselves, employable, skills that can enable us to be different from, to stand out of the crowd. So it's a challenge for all of us so that we can come up with a particular skill which would be able to help us in the unforeseeable future. Yeah, I think we open the floor for 1 or 2 questions, if there are any, before we move to our next speaker. Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah, welcome, please.
So, Maha, please, I have a question.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Yes. On the issue of women inclusion, this really touches on several other aspects, because we know that the Agenda 2063 in its full form cannot be achieved if all citizens are not granted opportunity to contribute what they can contribute. We know that women can contribute. They have what it takes to contribute. So my question is, are there potential arrangements on ground at the moment, maybe at the continental level or country levels? Are there, because it's your field, are there policies on ground, possibly in countries, or are there policies in the process of being developed that could potentially make special process that attracts women or move women towards this role? I also want to think or to ask, are there specific factors you think do discourage women? Because even when there seems to be policies on ground, women still don't necessarily so much pay much attention to that. I may not be correct, but I'm just asking in that direction. Are there specific factors that could be potentially tweaked? And are there artificial intelligence methods of possibly influencing them to begin to pay attention to that? Because artificial intelligence is everywhere now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for a kind question. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about, you said policy. There are initiatives led by a lot of civil society organization working in AI, try to promote women presence in AI and highlight the challenges faced by women in AI. There are, but these initiatives are not governmental initiatives. As I said, most of it comes through civil society or ladies who are working in the AI, and we are realizing that we are not getting that promotion, or let's say the promotion which we really deserve. Okay. The second thing, in the workspace, let me tell you something. In Tunisia, women are less paid than men in the technology field. If, for example, me, I apply for a position. Let's say engineer is paid 1,000 euro. As me, as a woman, I'm going to be paid 600. And the leader of the company said, okay, you know, I'm giving this to women. We're giving you the chance to work here. So capitalists, an owner of business, they act with us like in a way that they're doing a favor. It's not like they are offering me which I do deserve. You get what I mean? And as well as in the private sectors. In the private sectors, like no way. No way. These people, they have their own money. If they want to hire someone, they will hire a man, engineer. Like for me, for example, I attended several interviews, and as I said, I studied in China. Trust me, they don't ask me what I did studied. They will say, oh, you have been in China, oh my God. Especially like I'm an Arab and Muslim, so like they keep, oh, how could you be there? What your family said when you moved to China? What have you done with Chinese? And all these stereotyped questions. And the interview moved into these stereotyped questions. If I was a man, they won't ask me this. They'd rather ask me about interface, about what I can do, how's the business in China, this kind of intellectual questions. So this is about mentality issues. And this is, I don't want to say it's gender-based violence, but it's in somehow, they won't accept you, or it goes into that they are making fun of you. Yeah, that's how it is. So it's hard. You have to work in changing mentalities. It didn't mean like women, they quit their position. No, we don't quit. However, they get tired. They get tired, especially when it comes to payments and promotion. And they don't get valued.
Okay.
No trust. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. One of our scholars wants me to ask you about something you mentioned on AI ethical codes. AI ethical codes. How about it? Can you please enlighten us on that?
Okay. Yeah, I see you check with that code. Yes, the AI ethical codes. You know, AI ethical codes. Thank you for your nice comments. As I said, the working phase is changing. And we in Africa, not all of, basically, we don't own the technology. We are exporting the technology from outside. We're not the one who are creating it. And the algorithm, the data, all of it, we are not the one who are controlling it. Okay, I will give you a sample. For example, when we do have elections, I will talk to you about the election in my country. The last elections in Tunisia, we realized that one of the candidates used the data online to impact and influence the public opinion in favor of one of the candidates. This is an example. Other example, the company who can own more algorithm, it can influence the public opinion in the markets. While there are other companies, especially African local company, they don't own the tech, they don't own the softwares. They cannot influence the public opinion, even they cannot compete. Other example, for example, if we talk about online markets developed by AI techniques, for example, PrestaShop. This is a company, it's a French-based company. So we in Tunisia, if we want to do online markets, we have to go there. and buy from them and pay them to promote for us. Because they are the one who own the markets. They're European, based in Paris. So we, Tunisia, North Africa, we have to go for them because they are the one who own the markets. We are not able to do online markets. And even if there are online markets, this online market, they don't own this algorithm. So we need to have ethic use of AI. We need to set, because if it continues like that, we will switch into the age of colonizing AI. You understand? So we will never move forward. We are in the age of industrial, we are in the age of digital revolution. And right or not, we are in the fourth industrial revolution, the AI revolution. So algorithm and the use of algorithm, the use of data should be used in equal way, in equal setup. Otherwise, Africa still remaining colonizing. And I assume I take the responsibility in all what I'm saying. As long as we are not the one who are leading the digital transformation in the continents, and we give it to foreigners because they are the one who are controlling the AI, we will never get off debt, poverty, and so on. So we have to talk about AI codes and ethics.
Wow.
I'm in Tunisia. I'm Tunisian. I'm African, and I'm a tech woman. This is my right to work here and to do tech services. And the governments have to facilitate for me. They don't have to give offers to other big companies. Offers should be equal. That's why I'm part of a movement of decolonizing AI in Africa.
Wow.
Governments, yes, thank you. Thank you. It's really kind of you. Thank you for a nice comment. Yes, we need to provide these policies. We have to get the right to provide technology and provide our services and brand the continent. Otherwise, we will keep remaining unemployment and unemployed people. Yeah, that's why, like, yeah, please, I know, yeah.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add maybe some points?
Yeah, please.
I'm Sani, and I'm robotics engineer in Shanghai. So I think maybe instead of always trying to fight the government issue, maybe we can start maybe preparing the young mind of receiving the AI technology and the robotics and so on. How? Maybe by trying to set some training environments for kids, like the way they do it here in China. People in secondary school, they already start knowing about engineering stuff. We shouldn't maybe wait to say until we reach universities, then we can start training our people to understand technology. I think by preparing the minds of receiving the engineering mind, that will help our people to really achieve and start thinking by themselves and how to solve the problems by themselves. Like they will have the courage really to face and to take the challenge. Like the way for young women, like young, how to call this, the females, like in Africa, most of them are afraid because they feel like they don't fit the environment. They're not given the opportunities to participate. So if from the young age, they start really receiving this kind of education, that will help them to decolonize that complexity that they think they do not fit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo, thank you. I agree with you. Yes, you are right. We have to start providing these studies, these courses, and encourage people for entrepreneurship, to learn more about technology. However, I mentioned really important points. It's accessibility. Is that accessible or not? That's the major question. So with that, we have to fight. I like the word fight because I'm a fighter here. I'm a woman, I work in the male field, so I have to be a fighter. No, I keep fighting to the last day of my life, where we have to fight for accessibility.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, if I can ask one or two questions, then I
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sorry, moderator, can I?
Please, you said you want to, how many questions?
I just want to make one or two comments briefly before she closes.
It's a comment, but is it a comment or a question?
Comments, please, just to support, to answer one question, then to support.
I want you to be very brief. I want you to be very brief. We have other speakers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Just to support what she was trying to say about bias in AI, because I have been in this field for a while too, so I know what she's talking about. So bias is in the data that you use to train your machine learning or AI algorithm. For those that don't get what she's trying to say, you collect data on Africa, right? And you use that data, you misuse it because you don't use it appropriately to train your model. For instance, some of you must have seen one video of one African trying to get some soap. There's an automatic machine that can dispense soap. But if you take your black hand and you show it to that machine, it doesn't dispense. But if it's a weird person, you take your hand there, it will dispense. That's one of the biases that you can see in AI. So I see someone asking about the algorithm. It's not about the algorithm, it's about people that are working on it, people that are using your data disproportionately to train that algorithm such that it favors them. That is one aspect she's talking about. And to put action to what she's saying, there's an organization that teaches female African how to code. I put on the link here, She Code Africa. I don't know, I'm not an advocate, sorry, I just got this online. She Code Africa. As an African, if you want to support inclusion in AI, you can go there and sponsor a female, maybe your sister or your cousin female. You can go there and sponsor her on this program. So anybody can support, not just talking about it, but doing something that is real and quantifiable to support inclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let me take this opportunity to thank our speaker, Ms. JOUINI, for this wonderful and excellent presentation that everybody here has really enjoyed your presentation. Because, you know, as our mothers and our wives and our sisters, we only enjoy you when we see you, I mean, one out of the lot, representing a whole community of women. We are so grateful for your presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
The honor is mine. Thank you.
Yes.
Not me for Africa.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Colleagues, and then the scholar community of Organization of African Academic Doctors, let me take this opportunity to introduce to you our next speaker, who is a government on lifelong learning. He's a member, expert think tank of Shanghai Yangpu District, and then he's also an Asian African Alliance of Learning Organization, who is our own man, and is the vice president that is on and is African Arms, and the president of OAAD Global, Nairobi, Kenya. Colleagues, let me introduce to you Dr. Odi Elijah, the EC of OAAD. Thank you, Mr. Elijah. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak at this time. And I want to thank Maha very much for having made a very impactful presentation.